Motion Golf presents Proper Balance with Mitchell Spearman.
Hello, I'm Mitchell Spearman. We're going to talk about balance. I think it's one of the most underlooked critical areas of a golf swing. There's good balance and there's poor balance. That can often mean that your weight is too much on your heels or too much on your toes. I'm going to go through all possibilities and show you how you can check your balance and get you on the track to improving your golf swing, because balance really does play a key part in that. If I take a setup here, in an ideal world I would be able to rock between my heels and my toes. If I find that I can only lift my toes off the ground, then my weight is sitting too far back in my heels. I'm back this way, falling backwards. Conversely, if I'm not able to lift my toes off the ground, my weight's too far forward, it's out on the toes. So I'm only lifting my heels, I'm falling forward. Heel to toes. So if I hold my club up in front of me and get a good posture with my arms falling down and tip over, to check myself, I can very comfortably go heels to toes. So what happens if you get too much weight on your heels? Let me show you. You're sitting back here, your weight's on your heels, it's going to tend to take the club back too far inside. Now we've had the chance on Motion Golf to get a golfer who's actually doing that, taking the club too far inside. Let's have a look and see how he goes. We can see in this address position right here, standing very upright. That's probably the factor that you see. Your hands get quite high, you stand very upright, that blue line is your spine. There's actually a number there, it says 80 degrees, so that's very high. That means you're standing in a very vertical position. Now in turn, what that's going to do is take the club dramatically inside. So if anyone's ever told you, take the club straighter back, the chances are your weight's too far on your heels at address. Here we can see the club's gone way around. The red line is the shoulder plane line. And what that shows is that you're swinging too flat in the upper body on the backswing. The club goes way inside, and as a result, you're going to tend to come slightly over the top of the ball on the downswing here. So Motion Golf has this technology which can show us this in an even greater fashion now. Now let's have a look at the swing plane. That will show us the path of the club going back and what happens coming down. So as we take the club away from the ball here, we see a dramatic inside movement as we take the club back. We can see a big green line, that's all the space that's been occupied by the club, and now as we come down, there's the red path. So look at the big difference in the club there. Way inside, way over the top. So that golfer needs to get his weight more out on his toes, needs to get his backside out a little bit more, be able to lift his heels off the ground at address. By doing that, increasing the spine angle, it will help the club go back on a straighter line and get the club on a much better track, so the club will go up and down rather than way dramatically inside and over the top. So now we're going to take a look at the golfer who puts too much weight out on his toes in the Motion Golf technology. This will give us the advantage of seeing what the tendency is in that swing. This is where he's bent over the ball too much at address. We actually see a number here, 50 degrees. That means he's way bent over the ball. That number shouldn't be even close to 60. So this is 10 degrees too bent over, means he can lift his heels off the ground, but his toes are stuck. Now the tendency will be just to lift the club straight up, not really get any turn, and quite frankly not have any power in the swing, because it's not inducing his body to coil, not getting any rotation in the middle of his body here. So as we take the club back, we see dramatically lifted the club outside, right in front of his face there at the top of the swing, very little turn, arm plane is quite upright, would be a technical term we would use. Going to chop down on the ball, divot path would go to the left, ball flight would spin left to right, and really just not getting the distance that one would expect there. So a real lack of using the body in the right manner. So lack of power is what we can see. Again, we can pull up the swing plane here and just see very clearly in this technology how the club is out of plane there. You could just see, that's for all of you that have been told you're lifting the club on the backswing, you're picking it up too much. Well, that might be true, but the fact of the matter is your balance is incorrect. So what I want to encourage all of you to do when you get a chance, grab a golf club, take your setup, start with your weight a little bit back on your heels, put your arms into your chest like so. Now, drop your arms down, and as you drop your arms down here, you'll probably feel the weight come a little bit forward. That's fine. Then go ahead and bend over, and if you've done it correctly, you can be balanced nice and comfortably between your heels and your toes. So, if anyone just talks to you about balance, it's between the heels and the toes. Sure, when you finish the swing, you want to be in nice balance at the end of the swing, but you can't get there from a poor position at address. Good balance, sound setup will help you get your swing on a better track.
Download Motion Golf's 3D Swing Analyzer at motiongolf.com.